The former president, Trade Union Congress, Peter Esele, joins me now on the news. Good to see you, Peter, and thanks for your time as always. Now, this is the second time in the space of 3 months that the scarcity of petrol is being experienced. Nigerians wonder, just as we saw in that clip, what exactly is happening.
Well, thank you for having me. One thing is very clear. What you have right now is that the marketers are saying that the cost of getting fuel to the pump station for people to buy is already, even from S depot price, that they cannot sell at 165. So if they are selling at 165, they are selling at a loss. So what they are looking at, plus the margin, marketers' margin, and what I view is that if they want to break even or even make profit, they should be selling between 175 and 180, depending upon the distance. And don't forget that you have to use truck to move product from point A to point B, and with the cost of diesel about 800 naira per liter. So you have cost overrun, which of course the marketers are now trying to recover their cost. So what you have is a couple of them just decide to have the product and lock it down, waiting for negotiation with the federal government or with those who are in charge to let them know that this is what they want to sell. And likely we are going to have an increase.
And now, as you highlighted, the marketers are not ready to sell at a loss. But how should the government address this?
I think what the government should have done is first thing you have to look at the ex-depot price. When you look at the ex-depot price, if you increase the ex-depot price, then of course you expect the marketer's margin to come in. And then secondly, government need to also address the product movement. You need diesel to move the truck from point A to point B. How much are they buying diesel? So I think government can look at all the parameters and see what the marketers are talking about. It will be very unfair for them to sell at a loss. So what it is now is that government should allow for a little bit of increase. There's got to be an increase, or the marketers is going to force it down our throat. But I expect government should have envisaged this all along. If government envisaged this, and government had to communicate to the people, this is what you expect to see happen, and the people will be prepared. I just listened to a cab driver based on your reporters going around the street, and he said, let's just get the product. What they are also after now is, if you are saying this product is going to increase, this is how much it's going to increase, and not just stampede the people. And they wake up one morning, they can't do anything. You can't get diesel, you can't get kerosene, and now petrol is also out of reach. So that is even making life for the ordinary people.
And the refineries, let's throw that in, which has been moribund for years. Past administrations, including the current one, have failed to fix or build new ones, even with past reports of money budgeted for turnaround maintenance. Is it right to say Nigeria is stuck in this rut?
Yes, we are stuck in the rut because we don't plan. We are stuck in the rut because there are no policies. We are stuck in the rut because everything we do is ad hoc. There is no follow through. There is no planning. Now, this administration, when they were coming on, they promised to build at least 2 new refineries, and they've done none of that. Okay, even fix the old ones, they've also not done it. What we've just done, what has happened recently is that NNPC have decided to hand it over for telling us that it will be ready in another 2 or 3 years' time, those old refineries for maintenance, and it will be available at that time. So the only exit route for Nigerians now is the private refineries coming up in Lekki, owned by Aliko Dangote. So the hope now is that if Dangote refineries come up, Dangote refinery alone is bigger than the 3 refineries owned by the NNPC. So if it comes up, then Nigeria, first, it will reduce the pressure of forex on the importation of petroleum products. So you are going to get it locally. Secondly, it will also guarantee what I call energy security, because this is what we're having right now is a threat to national security. Because once you don't have energy and you are not in control of your energy, your national security is in jeopardy. That is the fundamental challenge that we're facing right now. This could lead to a protest and things can get out of hand. And what you have now is you also need to know that productivity of the ordinary citizens will also drop. Because if you go to the street now, there's so much frustration, there's so much anger, and how do you expect that to drive productivity?
Well, being an expert in the sector, and your warning shouldn't be taken with levity by the government. But again, if you look at one of the main arguments against subsidy is that oil marketers take subsidized petrol to other African countries like Cameroon, Benin, and to sell at higher prices, making a gain off the Nigerian people. Now, this is set to reduce the petrol in circulation in Nigeria. Tell us more about the impact of such on the Nigerian economy, if true.
And when we say that, it's a dereliction of duty. You just have the state abdicating its responsibility. If you have the state telling the ordinary man on the street that marketers take product to Cameroon, Niger, or Chad, it is the responsibility of the state to bring those who are involved in such activity, that's criminal, to bring them to book. We've been hearing this for ages. Nobody has been brought to book. Sulaiman, you are now aware that there are simple technology. You have a car. You can track your car. You know where your car is. What stops us from tracking each of those trucks? In other parts of the world, trucks are tracked. So you will know where truck A is at every point in time. If a truck is leaving Lagos for Cameroon, you will know where the truck is going. So this is 21st century. There are technology to take care of this. It's just that there are also insiders who are behind all of this. And at the end, when you have the state complaining over acts like this, it's quite demoralizing and it is sad because not a single marketer has been brought to book, not a single company has been closed that has been involved in this activity. And for that to happen, that also tells you there are state actors who are also behind all of this. You won't tell me that these all things will be going on since Olusegun Obasanjo. That's way back 1999. We've been hearing people are moving product across the border. If they're moving product across the border, what have the state done? Who have been arrested? Who have been prosecuted? So if you don't do any of this, you are not going to earn the trust of the citizens in going ahead to say you want to deregulate the downstream sector.
Now, quickly, let's close on issues of policies. Nigeria's petroleum minister is the president, and he's not new to the oil sector, even as military. He's been there. What form of policy do you think the government should put in place to ensure that what Nigerians have always gone through will be a thing of the past?
I think what you have now, you have a government. I think right now this administration is in its 7th year, so it's in its time that I will call a lame duck session. And if in 7 years this administration really didn't have a policy, to tackle the oil and gas and define where it actually wants the oil and gas to go, what we have expected is one, you fix the refinery. Second, if you want to deregulate the downstream sector, you have a process to deregulate the downstream sector. You also have to have a plan to cushion the effect of the regulation on the downstream sector. This administration never had such plan. So what we've had is ad hoc measures. And going forward, what we need to do now is for NNPC to continue to make sure products availability. Some of the complaint that is coming from the marketers now, product availability is also being affected. Don't forget, right now the federal government is broke. They are complaining that subsidy is affecting them. They cannot even pay salaries, so they are borrowing money to pay salaries. But because they've lost part of the trust from the Nigerian people, it's difficult for them to go the hog to say we want to deregulate totally. If you come and you do a step-by-step, you can address the country. This is the situation we are faced with right now, and we want to do an increase of X percentage. And then let the Nigerian people also see that you are not going to tell them that they are going to tighten their belt, while those holding political offices still continue to live life as if nothing has happened. That is also a fundamental issue we need to also take care of, because there is a breach. There's a lack of communication between the governed and those who are in authority. And then the second one is there's also a lack of trust. Whatever you tell Nigerians, they just feel that there's corruption in the system, and the government need to sort that out fast for them to move on. But the earlier we take action about what is bubbling, because elections are around the corner, the political temperature is also building up. So if you add this scarcity into the whole mix, you have insecurity on one hand. It's going to snowball into something that the government cannot control.
Peter Esele, many thanks for your time.